Row number 3, a pair at the 14 of Chase Osborne. On his outside, the 04 of Tad Pospischal. Row number 4 inside, that'll be the 23 of Paul Conrad. On his outside, the 16 of Jack Snowberger. And rounding out the field, it'll be the 47 of Andy Claiborne. Field makes their way off turn number 4. Green flag is up in Speedway Motors heat race number 1. Down the back straightaway the first time, Jason Wallace and Corey Zeitner side by side for the race lane. We got trouble. Brian Kaczynski goes around. Chase Osborne gets into him, and they stack up. Andy Claymore and Jack Snowberger go around. That should bring out a yellow flag, and it will. So caution lights go out across the Off Road Speedway. We get back to racing action, this time by Jason Wallace, the Carter Lake, Iowa native. He'll bring us back to life off of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Here we get back to it. Corey Zeitner going to be the first one to try to make the top shelf work for him. Meanwhile, everyone else is around the bottom. Jason Wallace sticking to his guns on the low end. Zeitner pushes up the track. Here comes Layton to the inside, side by side, coming off for turn number 4. Zeitner gets a good run, but Wallace leads the lap. Corey Zeitner's getting something going on the top shelf and off of turn number 2. New leader, Corey Zeitner shows the way. Bill Layton Jr. settles into position number 3 and lights on Wallace. How about it? 3 cars for the top spot off of turn 4. Great racing up front. How about we make it a fatal 4-way? Here comes the 2017 champ, Tad Pospischal. Pospischal to the outside of Jason Wallace. That's for the 3rd position as they enter turn 3. Zeitner, your leader. Layton is 2nd. Battle for 3rd between Wallace and Pospischal. 5th right now is Paul Conrad. Chase Osborne currently running 6th. Brian Kaczynski 7th, and Andy Claiborne rounds out the field. Now the battle for the lead rages on. Here goes Layton. Layton for the inside slide job move, and off of 4. Layton takes the lead at the line. Corey Zeitner not going away just yet. 2 to go. Signal should be coming up next time around. Bill Layton Jr., your race leader, Corey Zeitner, looking to get back around him before this one goes final. Tad Pospischal now looking to the inside of Zeitner. That's for 2nd off of turn 4. Good run by the 04 machine. Pospischal starting on the outside of row number 3 and now going after Zeitner for 2nd. This time around, white flag comes out, 1/4 mile to go for Billy the Kid. Pospischal able to sidestep Zeitner for 2nd as they exit turn 4. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway and into 3 for the 8th and final time. Checker flag is going to fly. The all-time winningest driver here at Off Road Speedway, Bill Layton Jr. will win Speedway Motors heat race number 1. Tad Pospischal is 2nd, Corey Zeitner 3rd, Jason Wallace is 4th, and the line for 5th, Chase Osborne. Then it's Paul Conrad, Brian Kaczynski, and Andy Claiborne to round out the field. So give it up for race fans, your winner of Speedway Motors heat race number 1 from La Vista, Nebraska. The Taylor Quick Pick Shell Duros Dent Works, Swain Construction, Wright Speed Yards, 5-star Truck Center number 24. Let him hear you, Bill Layton Jr. 4th and final row on the inside will be the 25 from Council Bluffs, Iowa. That's Brad Perdue. And on his outside from Wakefield, Nebraska, the 71 of Mike Benson. 8 cars, 8 fast laps for Kaiser Manufacturing heat race number 2. So the Rocket and the Wing 10 get the party started off at turn number 4. Here we go. Into turn 1, Robbie Anderson nearly takes the nose off of Coover, trying to get to the top shelf for answers. Here goes Brown to the inside. Gary Brown Jr. to the inside. Slide job and 3 wide for 2nd. Gary Brown Jr. will take the opening lap. Here comes Nate Beinhoff to the inside. A little bit of contact there between Krug, Deal, and Coover as they go down the front straightaway, but the Blue Bandit able to sidestep Deal and Coover. Nick Deal, in his very first appearance here at Off Road Speedway, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders and the current points leader, going to become the first rookie to win the championship. He's got a very strong piece, that Black Diamond chassis he bought off Chris Simpson earlier this season. Deal looking to the outside of Josh Krug for the 4th spot as they enter turn 3. Deal dives to the bottom. Krug shows him the nose off at 3 and 4. The Deal secures position number 4 on the speedway. Next time around, we will be halfway done. 4 laps complete, 4 laps to go here in Kaiser Manufacturing heat race number 2. Gary Brown Jr., your leader. Nate Beinhoff is 2nd. Battle for 3rd between Nick Deal and Robbie Anderson. Josh Krug runs 5th. Brad Perdue is 6th. 7th is Junior Coover, and Mike Benson runs 8th. Gary Brown Jr., the 28 Special Chassis, powered by a Crestman Racing engine. Car number 22 out of Brandon, South Dakota, having an excellent run here. He's done pretty well in the few times that he's ran with the Malvern Banks Series, has not gotten that first win. Could this be a game changer tonight? Could Gary Brown Jr. be a dark horse later on in tonight's main event? Nate Bienhoff, in only his second start of 2019 for the Malvern Banks Series, his best finish with the tour was third. That was, I believe, right here at Off Road Speedway as the white flag comes out. Final time around the Speedway for Gary Brown Jr. Josh Grugg trying to make one last move at Robbie Anderson, but off of turn number 4, Kaiser Manufacturing Heat Race number 2 goes to the 22, Gary Brown Jr. Nate Bienhoff will cross in second, Nick Deal is third, Robbie Anderson fourth, Josh Grugg will come home fifth, and it's Brad Perdue in sixth. Seventh in the line, Mike Benson, and Junior Coover will round out the field. So how about it, race fans? Let them hear you. Your winner of Kaiser Manufacturing Heat Race number 2 out of Brandon, South Dakota. The Corner Pantry, H&H Mobile Home Services, Precision Drywall, Fenzel's Electric, Band-Aid Wrench number 22. Let them hear you, Gary Brown Jr. So here we go. Tyler Smith on the outside of the front row. His first ever visit here to Off Road Speedway. Let's see how take 2 goes. Green is in the air. We're underway. Much better start. We get down to business through 1 and 2 the first time. Eric Van Osdale off the bottom will take the race lead. 3 wide is Jason O'Brien trying to squeeze between Sukup and Smith. That won't work. Schaller, Johnson, Kosiski all involved, and somehow Tomka gets collected up the top. Yellow is out. Caution on the speedway for a pileup in turn number 4. Schaller somehow made it through. Here we go off of turn number 4. Back to green flag racing. Still trying to get the first lap in as we go through 1 and 2 this time. Van Osdale with Tyler Smith in tow. Smith trying to go for the crossover move, but not enough room on the bottom to make it work. Van Osdale makes the field go through 3 and 4. Van Osdale takes the opening lap. Here comes Jason O'Brien on the outside. O'Brien with a good run off the top of turn number 4 and now trying to capitalize it off of 2. Ben Schaller, meanwhile, sneaks around on the bottom and gets past Smith for third. Ben Schaller right around the bottom of the Off-Road Speedway, trying to chase down Jason O'Brien. A little bit of contact in the back of the pack, but we stay green nonetheless. Schaller and O'Brien side by side for position number 2. Schaller the 98, O'Brien the 15. O'Brien slams the door on Schaller as they go through 3 and 4 this time. They're all chasing the bright blue number 9 of Eric Van Osdale. Van Osdale, that Strong Trucking Nebraska powder coating sponsor, number 9, picked up the weekly late model win here last Saturday night here at Off Road Speedway. Oh, didn't mean to him to score his first ever Malvern Banks Series event. Van Osdale, I believe, making his 3rd start with the tour in 2019. He's leading it, but Jason O'Brien starting to apply the pressure. 3 to go this time in the line. Eric Van Osdale continues to show the way, but Jason O'Brien has cut that lead down, and now O'Brien's ready to show the nose. Jason O'Brien posing a challenge to Van Osdale. 2 to go this time in the line. Van Osdale's led the whole distance so far. Can Jason O'Brien play spoiler? They both dive to the bottom. O'Brien tries to pull up a side trouble for Chris Johnson. The 73 takes it off the track. We'll see if that stands. He might still be in the line of fire, but this time the white flag is going to fly. Final time around. Can Jason O'Brien make something happen on the final lap? Here goes the O-Show. Jason O'Brien trying to make it move. Nope, but the caution's going to fly. That's going to be for Chris Johnson. So Chris Johnson not quite out of harm's way there, and the yellow has been called. Caution lights go out across the speedway. We're ready to get back to it as the field makes their way off turns 3 and 4 this time. Eric Van Osdale, can he seal the deal on a heat race win? We'll find out in 2 laps. Let's get to it. O'Brien was quick to dive to the low side. Can Van Osdale fend him off? O'Brien pulls up a side. Into 3, Van Osdale slams the door on O'Brien as they go through 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Final lap for the 9 of Eric Van Osdale. Jason O'Brien continuing to look on the inside. Can't quite make the pass yet. Down the backstretch and into 3 for the final time. Checker flag is going to fly, race fans. And at the line, it's going to be Eric Van Osdale to win heat race number 3. Jason O'Brien is second, Ben Schaller third, fourth goes to Ben Sukup, then Tyler Smith fifth. Doug Tomka, Cale Kaziski, and Chris Johnson will round us out. So give it up for him, race fans. Your winner of Dynamic Drivelines heat race number 3 from Hoskins, Nebraska. In the Strong Trucking, Bierman Sandblasting and Painting, Nebraska Powder Coating, Tomka Trucking, 2T Trucking number 9, Eric Van Osdale. Row number 3 on the inside from La Vista. It'll be the 53 of Andrew Kaziski. On his outside, your defending series champion from Marquette, the 14 of Kyle Burke. Row 4 on the inside, it'll be the 35 from Norfolk, Robert Osborne. And from Newton, Iowa, Kurt Schroeder in the 15C will round us out. Fourth and final Malvern Bank Super Late Model Heat Race, brought to you by Kaziski Auto Parts, goes green here at the Off Road Speedway. Three wide in the middle of the pack. Josh Leonard trying to split Volbrecht and Kaziski. Nordorf nearly gets into Johnson as they go through 3 and 4. Who's going to have the upper hand at the line? Give it to the 76 of Nordorf. Blair Nordorf, your leader after 1, and still 3 wide in the middle of the pack. Robert Osborne with Andrew Kaziski and Nelson Volbrecht. Volbrecht on that middle lane trying to work around Josh Leonard for third. Andrew Kaziski continuing to dig on the low side. He can't make it around Leonard. Andrew Kaziski had a rough break last night at I-80 Speedway, was running third in the feature, got involved in an incident that wasn't his own, and ended up finishing 21st. Kaziski looking to turn his luck around tonight. Jim Johnson and Nelson Volbrecht, the regulars here at the Off Road Speedway, side by side for position number 2. Right in front of the Rookie of the Year contender, Josh Leonard. Here comes Burke on the outside. Kyle Burke looking to make the top shelf work for him. I don't know if you may have seen what Corey Zeiner was doing, but Kyle Burke trying to get the top shelf to work to his advantage. Here comes Kaziski to the inside of Leonard. They're about to go 3 wide with Burke off of 4. Kaziski gets the spot away, but now battle for the lead shapes up. Here comes Nelson Volbrecht. Nelson Volbrecht, I don't believe has a single, he doesn't even have a handful of late model experience, and now going after Nordorf for the race lead, and at the line, give it to Volbrecht. An Off Road Speedway regular, and off at turn number 4, Volbrecht takes the lead. Nelson Volbrecht, the former Sport Mod driver, turned late model driver here in Nebraska, will take the white flag. Can Blair Nordorf mount a charge on the last lap? Nelson Volbrecht has got the middle on lockdown. That has been his bread and butter. And off at turn number 4, Nelson Volbrecht takes Kaziski Auto Parts heat race number 4. Blair Nordorf is second, Andrew Kaziski third, Jim Johnson fourth, Kyle Burke fifth, Josh Leonard sixth, Robert Osborne seventh, and Kurt Schroeder in 8th. So give it up for him, race fans. Your winner of Kaziski Auto Parts heat race number 4 from Stanton, Nebraska, the driver of the Jake's Bar, BRK Construction, Rock County Tire Company, number 11X, let him hear you, Nelson Volbrecht. Again, 10 laps the distance, the top 3 move on. Looks like the 3 of Doug Tomka is a no-show for this one. So we'll go with 9 cars. Caution lights go out across the Off Road Speedway. Top 3 move on to tonight's Malvern Bank main event. Here we go, Off Road Speedway. It is the last chance for one last dance here on the high banks of Off Road Speedway. Green flags in the air. Here we go. Zeiner's going to take the early race lead as the field storms into turn number 1. 3 wide there, coming off of turn number 2 for the final transfer spot. Tyler Smith, Brian Kaziski, and Robbie Anderson. Anderson's got the top shelf, trying to get it wound up. Lap 1 going to go to Zeiner. Anderson with a big run off of 4, side by side for the final spot with Smith. Smith in the 112, Anderson the 82. Again, advantage goes to Smith now to the back straightaway. Brian Kaziski in tow in the yellow 52. Meanwhile, Brian Kaziski looking to the inside of Smith for position number 5 on the speed number 4 on the speedway as Anderson drifts up the track. Anderson jumps the cushion and nearly scrapes the wall. He's going to lose 4 spots and falls way out of contention for the transfer spot. Kudos to Robbie Anderson for trying to get that top shelf working. He just missed it going into turn number 1, and here he goes back on the rebound. Anderson back to the outside of Kurt Schroeder. Anderson back into the 6th position. Only 3 make the big show. Corey Zeidner, your leader. Josh Leonard is 2nd. Tyler Smith, the 3rd and final transfer spot for the time being. Ryan Kosiski running 4th. Brad Perdue is 5th. Robbie Anderson 6th. Kurt Schroeder 7th. Cale Kosiski 8th. And Andy Claiborne runs 9th. Corey Zeidner. That Longhorn chassis powered by a Shepherd racing engine. We're halfway home. 5 in, 5 to go. Corey Zeidner has led the entire distance so far. Josh Leonard trying to make it into the main event in his first ever visit here to the Off Road Speedway. Josh Leonard currently sitting 3rd in the point standings, and I believe 2nd in the Rookie of the Year point standings as well. Leonard trying to chase down Zeidner for the race lead as the laps continue to wind down. Robbie Anderson down to the outside of Brad Perdue. Got a little too sideways coming off turn 4. Now he's got the top shelf working for him. Anderson, he's got to go. He still needs to get past 2 more cars if he wants to make the big show. And Anderson, way up the track, nearly scrapes the wall off the exit of 2. And Brad Perdue hangs on to the 5th position. 2 laps to go for Corey Zeidner. Alexander Lawn & Landscape sponsor number 19 out of Bellevue, Nebraska. Zeidner, looking to go back to victory lane for the first time since Memorial Day weekend last year when he won at Rock Rapids. White flag in the air. Down the back straightaway and into 3 for the final time. He's going to go coast to coast to win this one. Corey Zeidner will punch his ticket in to the main event. Zeidner takes Predator Custom Trailers, speed feature number 1. Josh Leonard is 2nd. Tyler Smith, your 3rd and final transfer spot. Ryan Kosiski is 4th. Brad Perdue is 5th. Robbie Anderson 6th. Kurt Schroeder 7th. Cale Kosiski 8th. And Andy Claiborne 9th. So your top 3 moving on, race fans. The 112 of Tyler Smith. The 1 of Josh Leonard. And your winner, race fans, let them hear you in the Alexander Lawn & Landscape, Hopshide Henry Motors, Zeidner & Sons Transport, Shepherd Engine Developments, GH Race Cars, number 19, your winner, Corey Zeidner. Josh Krug nearly had this race won 2 years ago, but had a flat tire with 7 laps to go in the feature. It cost him the win. Here goes Krug and Johnson. They will get the party started. Last chance for one last dance here at Off Road. Let's get to it. Krug way up the track and just manages to keep it off the wall, but he goes all the way to the back. Jason Wallace and Chris Johnson side by side for the race lead as they come off of turns 3 and 4 at the line. Johnson takes lap 1. Jason Wallace running in that 2nd spot. Jim Johnson right now in that 3rd and final transfer spot. Pair of off-road natives going at it. Robert Osborne and Jim Johnson going at it. Here comes Paul Conrad. Conrad spins it out entering turn 3. Everyone avoids him. Great job. Bit of heads-up driving by everyone. That's going to bring out the caution. Caution on the speedway for the 23 of Paul Conrad, who just threw it into turn 3 way too hard and spun it out on the entrance. So 2 laps in the books, 8 laps to go, and a pair of off-road regulars are 1 and 2 right now. Chris Johnson and Jim Johnson. Can they punch their tickets into the big show? Off of 4, back to green. Robert Osborne trying to do just the same. Get around one of the Malvern Bank regulars, Jason Wallace. Wallace through the middle through 1 and 2 as we go back to green flag racing. Here goes Osborne for the final transfer spot. Osborne doesn't have the benefit of a provisional to possibly lean on, so he's got to race his way in. Osborne to the inside through 1 and 2. Wallace not giving up the fight as Conrad again jumps the cushion in turns 1 and 2. He'll settle it back down, but he'll lose a spot to Jack Snowberger. Off of turn number 4, Johnson continues to show the way. Chris Johnson to be exact, and Snowberger goes around through 3 and 4. Caution's going to come out again. New spot where Paul Conrad spun out a few laps before. Now goes around. Two provisionals will be awarded at the end of these features. Unfortunately for the Johnsons and Osborne, they're not regulars on the tour, so they've got to race their way in. Green flag back in the air. Back up to speed, Jason Wallace and Robert Osborne continue their battle for the final transfer spot. Here comes Josh Krug. Krug, who jumped the cushion and went all the way to the back at the first corner of the race, is now battling for that final spot. Here comes the Blue Bandit. Josh Krug making it a 3-car battle for the final transfer spot. What a comeback by Josh Krug. Meanwhile, battle for the lead off of turn number 4. That time around, Chris Johnson had it over Jim. They're still side by side. Josh Krug continuing to dig in through the middle. And off of turn number 3, you've got a new race leader. Jim Johnson shows the way. Jack Snowberger looped it around, keeps it going. We stay green. And now Chris Johnson back to the lead as they go into turn 1. Excellent racing in the top 4. Now Krug setting his sights on the final transfer spot as Jack Snowberger takes it to the infield. A lot of nose damage. 2 to go this time of the line. Keep your eyes on that final transfer spot. That is 3rd. Jason Wallace, Josh Krug, Robert Osborne all going for it. Who moves on to the main event? Krug looking for the slide job off of 4. Jumps it a little too high, but gets the run he needs. Krug takes back 3rd at the white flag. Krug a little too high coming off of turn number 2. That's going to give Wallace the advantage. But off of 3 and 4 for the final time. Chris Johnson's going to win the Predator Custom Trailer's second meet feature. Jim Johnson, Josh Krug races his way back in. Jason Wallace is 4th. Robert Osborne, Junior Coover, Mike Benson, Paul Conrad, and Jackson Snowberger. So your top 3 moving on, race fans. The 4K of Josh Krug. The 36 of Jim Johnson. And your winner, race fans, let him hear you from Bloomfield, Nebraska. The driver of the Kelly's Country Club, Mateo Sanded Gravel Super Farms Black Diamond Chassis, number 73. Let him hear you, Chris Johnson. "22 of the bravest drivers from Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota represented in this field. It's going to be a pair of Iowa drivers on the front row, Nate Bienhoff and Jason O'Brien. Field bunches up as they go into 3. Off of 4, our main event goes green here at Off Road Speedway. Into turn 1, side by side for a moment. Jason O'Brien off the top shelf will take the race lead as the field storms into 3 the first time. Tad Pospischal trying to ride the cushion, nearly 3 wide coming off of turn number 4. Lap 1 goes to Jason O'Brien. 25 laps goes by fast here on the high banks of Off Road Speedway. Here comes Tad Pospischal right on the backside of O'Brien for the race lead. Nate Bienhoff trying to look to the inside. Pospischal nearly threads the needle. Somehow Pospischal sneaks through, and you've got a new leader. Tad Pospischal slides up the track, and he'll take the race lead off of 2. New leader Tad Pospischal shows the way. Nick Deal's going to enter the picture as well. Tad Pospischal now the leader here on his home track. Nick Deal now going to try to sidestep Jason O'Brien. They nearly make contact going into 3. Deal going to slide Jason O'Brien for that second spot. The real Deal now goes to 2nd. Tad Pospischal in the 04 now shows the way. Deal into 2nd. Jason O'Brien back to 3rd. Nate Bienhoff is 4th. Battle for 5th between Andrew Koziski and Ben Schaller. They make contact going into 3. Koziski hangs on to 5th. Schaller thought of it, better of it as he backed down the throttle. Schaller remains in 6th. Billy Jr. is 7th. Gary Brown Jr. 8th. Kyle Burke 9th. Nelson Volbrecht your top 10 early on. And now the lead starting to shrink for Tad Pospischal. Here comes Nick Deal. Here goes Deal. Looking to size him up going into turn 1. Battle for the lead off of turn number 2. Pospischal gets the run off the top. The 04 stays up front. The 55D of Deal still hunting him down. 18 to go here at the Off-Road Speed. The laps into our main event. Tad Pospischal shows the way, but lap traffic is dead ahead. Only 8 laps in, and we're already starting to encounter lap traffic. Tad Pospischal and Nick Deal, where do they go? Looks like lap traffic going to decide to stay on the bottom lane. Pospischal and Deal will have to navigate on the top shelf if they want to be safe about it. Pospischal will now have to navigate lap traffic. First car to go will be Tyler Smith. We got trouble in turns 1 and 2. Pickup is off the pace. Leave a flat left rear tire for the 101. That's going to save Pospischal. Caution's out. Kyle Burke won the first race here at Off-Road. Bill Ayton Jr. won the next 3. And then last year, Justin Kai picked up the win. Can Pospisil redeem himself from last year? Tad brings us back up to speed, and we are back underway here in Norfolk. 3 wide for second, 4 wide for the lead. Deal and O'Brien make contact. That's going to stack them up. Everyone somehow makes it less serious. Could have been, and a caution is out. And the caution lights go out. Time to buckle up once again. We still have a ways to go. 16 laps remaining in our main event. Pospisil brings us back up to the green flag. Here we go. Andrew Kaczynski taking a look on the inside for the race lead. Deal gets a good run off the top shelf, just like Pospisil. Kaczynski now back into third off the bottom through 3 and 4. Pospisil continues to lead it. A little bit of contact there in the middle of the pack as Corey Zeiner trying to work around Gary Brown Jr. and Eric Van Osdale. A little shake and bake there between Brown and Van Osdale. They're not done with each other yet. Andrew Kaczynski staying low through 3 and 4. He is the first car on the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Pospisil and Deal riding the top shelf for all it's worth. Pospisil remains the leader. Deal in second, Kaczynski third. Here comes Bill Ayton Jr. on the outside. He'll sidestep Ben Schaller going into 3. But only for a moment. Schaller has the more consistent line, and Schaller takes back 4th. Here comes Kyle Burke into the mix. A little bit out of shape through 1 and 2 that time, and he loses ground on Pospisil. Ben Schaller staying low through 3 and 4. He's side by side with Andrew Kaczynski for the 3rd spot. Advantage goes to the 53. Halfway home in this one, Tad Pospisil remains your leader. Nick Deal is second. Andrew Kaczynski third. Ben Schaller fourth. Bill Ayton Jr. your top 5. Then it's Nate Bionoff running 6th. Kyle Burke 7th. Corey Zeiner from the B feature running 8th. Gary Brown Jr. is 9th. And Eric Van Osdale your top 10. Trouble for Jason O'Brien. He's come to a stop at the top of turn 2. Caution's out. So the comeback will not happen for Jason O'Brien. He has come to a stop at the top of turn 2. Can Tad Pospisil seal the deal on his first win on his home soil and his first win of 2019? Pospisil brings us back down to the green flag. Deal with a good run off at turn number 2, but Andrew Kaczynski, good run off the bottom. Kaczynski took a look inside for the race lead. Here comes Kaczynski, looking for the slide jump move, side by side. Pospisil has the lead at the 10 to go mark. 10 laps he goes, Pospisil gets way high going, entering 1. Kaczynski's gonna take the lead, Deal into second. Tad Pospisil was too high entering turn number 1, and it cost him the lead. Side by side off at turn number 4 at the line. New leader Nick Deal at the 9 to go mark. Nick Deal in a very familiar spot. Deal now shown as the leader. Can he run away and hide? Looks like he's starting to do just that. Andrew Kaczynski down to the bottom as they enter turn 1. Ben Schaller now to the inside of Tad Pospisil. Pospisil with a good run off at turn number 2. He'll maintain 3rd. Here comes Bill Ayton Jr. into the mix. Oh man, the Iowa driver who has taken this tour by storm, Nick Deal. This is only round number 6, and he's looking for his 3rd win of the season. Deal has been spot on this entire year. Had a little run in Marshalltown, but he has been looking spot on tonight. Nick Deal now a straightaway over Andrew Kaczynski. 5 laps to go here at Off Road Speedway for Walnut, Iowa's Nick Deal. That black diamond chassis powered by a Shepherd Racing engine. Car number 55D looking strong. Meanwhile, Ben Schaller and Andrew Kaczynski continuing their battle for 2nd. Kaczynski has it over Schaller as they cross the line. Here goes Gary Brown Jr. The 22 cracks the top 5 for the first time this evening. What a run by the 22 of Brown. Bill Ayton Jr. gets shuffled back to 6th. Kyle Burke is 7th. Oh, we got trouble! Corey Zeiner and Nate Bionoff get together. This could be a late caution here. Nate Bionoff has come to a stop, and the caution should come out. It is out. So here we go. Caution lights are out. 3 final circuits to go. here at Off Road Speedway. Nick Deal now the leader, off of 4. We are back underway at Off Road Speedway. Andrew Koziski trying to get that bottom to work just right, but Deal has got the top shelf on lockdown. Koziski's going to go to the top for answers. 2 to go. Andrew Koziski went right to the top through 3 and 4. He's going to follow Deal. Schallert now trying to look on the inside to get the second spot away. Here comes Bill Layton Jr. for that 5th spot on Tad Pospisil. Nick Deal will take the white flag. Final time around. Deal trying to seal the deal on his 3rd win of the season and his 1st at off-road. His 1st appearance here and his 1st win here. Nick Deal wins at Off Road Speedway. Ben Schallert gets by for 2nd. Andrew Koziski. And at the line for 4th, Gary Brown Jr. was 4th. And at the line for the 5th spot, it was Bill Layton Jr. What a finish. So give it up for him, race fans. His first ever visit here to the Off Road Speedway, and he takes the win from Walnut, Iowa. Car number 55D, Nick Deal. Good. All right, there we go. Good. Nick, excellent job tonight, my man. That one.
I really didn't think we had a good car to start off with. First few laps, I just tried the top, and it actually stuck pretty good, and I was just kind of trying to ride it out, and Pospisil was pretty good, and I don't think I would have got by him. He got a little bit high in the marbles over there, but overall, I'm honestly shocked we're here, to be honest with you.
Showing here, but right there where you guys were about to enter lap traffic, you had that caution come out. What was the mindset going on at that point?
You really never like to get into lap traffic. It really throws you out of rhythm. I was kind of glad to see it go yellow. The one we had last night kind of snuck away from us from that lap traffic, so I was pretty happy to see that yellow come out and start it over.
Man, oh man, can you believe this now? Like 3rd win of 2019 in your rookie season of all things, and for the 2nd time, an Iowa native, 1st ever time here at Off Road, you take the win, but now we get a few days off on the tour, but we pick things right back up on Wednesday when we head out to Stewart. It's going to be another bull ring just like this one.
Yeah, it's a pretty similar track to this. This is a first for me too. I've never come to a new track and pulled off the win, so this is pretty special for me too.
It's a little different than a couple of the tracks that you're used to in the modified.
Oh yeah. Everything we usually race is pretty big and wide open, so these little bull rings are definitely a challenge.
Well, let's thank some people that help you get this car back out here to Off Road Speedway for the first time. Let's thank some of those folks.
Mainly, I'd have to thank my mom and dad. Without their full support, I would not be here right now. They fund the operation to make this thing work. So without them, this wouldn't go around. I've got my pit crew, Jason, Cade, Joe, all of our fiancés and wives, everybody that supports us, everybody on that car. Without them too, I mean, we got All-Star Tire, Canopy, helps.
I'll tell you what, first time out here, and I think you may have gotten a few more fans now after that run. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
How about it? First time here to Off Road Speedway, his 1st win from Walnut, Iowa, car number 55D, Nick Deal.